travel, there is nothing like it.
Dancing is my passion.
But with my moderate to severe eczema, it hasn't been easy.
Now I'm staying ahead of it.
Dupixent helps heal your skin from within, so you can have clearer skin and noticeably less itch. Serious allergic reactions can occur that can be severe. Tell your doctor about new or worsening eye problems such as eye pain or vision changes, including blurred vision, joint aches and pain, or a parasitic infection. Don't change or stop asthma medicines without talking to your doctor. Ask your doctor about Dupixent.
First question, of all your co-stars, who did you have a crush on and who was the best kisser? Wow. Tomorrow on ET, my exclusive with Tiffany Thiessen and a really interesting game of Sip or Spill.
All right, we're going to leave you, though, with Paw Patrol. The Mighty movie hits theaters this Friday, but we were part of a world record, me and the dog, Coco Frazier, this weekend.
Oh, okay, now that you said Coco Frazier, I'm really interested.
Wow. Check this out, and we'll see y'all later.
Night, everybody.
Where's my dogs at? My dog Coco helped me co-host this.
Happening now.
It may have been a hoax, but the fear was real. What East Central High parents went through today that caused them to line down the street to make sure their kids were safe.
Shots fired in the air during a rap concert at a local barbecue hotspot. Who police arrested and what they're charged with.
Still a chance for more showers and thunderstorms today. I'll talk about that window of opportunity in just a bit. The News at 5 starts right now.
This was not the way anyone wanted to start off the week. A major law enforcement presence at a local high school and apparent hoax prompting a lockdown, parental panic at East Central High School today.
The district police department received a call shortly before classes started naming a particular student at that school. Then in the background, they could hear gunshots. Law enforcement from several agencies cleared that campus. They found nothing.
The Bexar County Sheriff's Office says it now seems that call came from outside the U.S. and it was meant to cause a panic. Garrett Berger with why this so-called joke has left no one in San Antonio laughing.
It may have been a hoax, but the fear, the anxiety, and the concern were all real. And they all drew East Central High School parents down to the campus today, causing them to line up outside, waiting to reunite with their children.
In a fog of uncertainty, parents flocked to East Central High School. And even with their children obviously safe and with them again, the fear was right below the surface.
We're just scared as parents. Given everything that's happened, it was kind of scary.
The district and sheriff's office released reassurances relatively quickly that things were secure. But parents we talked to weren't always sure what had happened.
They have so many different stories going on the Facebook page saying that there was a stabbing or a shooting and they don't know what story they got straight.
And inside the school, students didn't know what to think either.
At first I thought it was a joke, and then my sister texted me that it was like an actual thing, and I was like, all right, we gotta be quiet and be serious.
Superintendent Rolando Toscano's own child was on campus, and he felt the same frustrations as other parents about the fact this had likely just been a hoax.
It affects lives, it affects people, and it's not okay.
Into the afternoon, parents waited in the heat with the only plan to bring their kids home and hold them tight.
Sitting there talking with her and just hugging her and thanking God that she's okay.
Garrett Berger, KSAT 12 News.
Now, the student who was named in that phone call was detained, but the sheriff's office says he was released when they realized that he was a victim of swatting. That's when a prank call activates law enforcement to a fake crime scene. The Bexar County Sheriff's Office says making a hoax call like this could get someone charged with felony terroristic threat.
New at 5, instead of barbecue smoke, gun smoke filled the air at a local restaurant hosting a rap concert downtown. This after police say a man fired several shots into the air. SAPD says James Alvarado is the one who fired those gunshots. Happened about 2:30 Sunday morning at the Smoke Barbecue restaurant on East Crockett. No one injured in the shooting. Restaurant security stopped Alvarado and held him until police arrived. He's charged with unlawfully carrying a weapon and for being a felon in possession of a firearm. Court records show he's on probation for a weapons charge from last year. His bond, $25,000.
A veteran SAPD officer is off the job and not getting a paycheck after a weekend crash suspected to be the result of drinking and driving. That officer is Eric Duffin. The department says he was off duty at the time of his arrest on Saturday after crashing his car on Evans Road. Officers say they noticed signs of intoxication. He was arrested on suspicion of DWI and was immediately suspended without pay. The department is conducting a criminal and administrative investigation. A man accused of leading officers on a chase and shooting 3 of them and causing a recent standoff in court today. That's one of several cases in Bexar County courtrooms today, including a plea deal for a man accused of concealing a corpse. Eric Hernandez with why that may not be all he's charged with in her court case breakdown.
Also a mandatory. The hallways and courtrooms hectic to start the week as numerous judges had long dockets to get through. One of the cases involves Jesse Garcia, the man accused of shooting 3 San Antonio police officers as they tried to arrest him in late August. It sparked a long standoff with police at a West Side apartment complex. His pretrial hearing was quick and involved a change in attorneys. Garcia is not scheduled to be back in court until he is indicted. In another courtroom, defendant Adam Rangel accepted a plea deal. Rangel is one of 3 people charged with concealing the corpse of Gloria Martinez. Martinez's body was found stuffed inside a plastic bin in the 2400 block of San Luis Street in July 2022. Rangel will be sentenced to 8 years in prison, but not for the woman's death. But the judge said a murder investigation is still pending in the case.
I'm going to go forward with the plea bargain, but it's my understanding that that investigation is still pending. So whether or not you're involved, not involved, whether this is, finalized in the future and you're excluded as a participant or not, you have to understand that it's still pending.
Rangel's sister, Allison Paredes, also took a plea deal. She was given a 2-year sentence. Their father, Frank Rangel, is scheduled in court next month. Meanwhile, in the 227th District Court, a jury is being picked for an intoxication manslaughter case from 2017. Paul Donaldson is accused of driving drunk, heading the wrong way on I-35 and hitting 28-year-old Armando Ortiz head-on, killing him. After numerous delays, the case is finally going to trial. Testimony is expected to begin tomorrow. If found guilty, he is facing up to 20 years in prison. Erica Hernandez, KSAT 12 News.
Forget the starch. A morning explosion at a dry cleaner is causing some excitement for people living and working around North St. Mary's and Josephine Streets. Fire officials say a commercial dryer exploded, then caught fire at Craft Professional Cleaners. Crews arrived to find the building filled with smoke. We're told the fire was put out quickly. Firefighters say the flash explosion injured one person who was taken to the hospital. Initial damage to the building was described as minimal. Check out traffic downtown. This is 410 and Callahan, and you can see a number of emergency vehicles and perhaps an ambulance in the median there. Again, this is 410 and Callahan. Looks like a couple of the lanes are closed right now. Just a heads up on exactly what's happening there. It's a busy time downtown, too. You may need mission control trying to drive and park anywhere downtown tonight and tomorrow. Multiple music concerts have fans flocking to the Alamo Dome and the Majestic. Tonight, Pink is taking the stage at the Dome for her Summer Carnival 2023 tour. Things kick off at 6:30. Then to the Majestic Theater, the Beach Boys with John Stamos will have fans screaming. Then tomorrow, Guns N' Roses at the Alamo Dome. Dome officials advising you to take advantage of Via Park and Ride. Via rides to the Dome started at 4:30 today. They're going to run 1 hour after Pink's concert ends. Via rides to the Guns N' Roses concert tomorrow will also begin at 4:30. The cost $1.30 each way. A reminder, the Dome's clear bag policy is in effect. For more information on the closures, parking, Via Park and Ride, and the Dome's clear bag policy, head to our website at KSAT.com.
Around Texas, a $5.5 million restitution deal has been signed and sealed in the El Paso Walmart shooting case, but it's unlikely the gunman will ever pay. The man who traveled from Dallas to El Paso in 2019, killing 23 people, depends on public defenders in court. Back in July, the shooter pleaded guilty to federal hate crime charges, admitting he targeted Hispanics during that deadly mass shooting. He was sentenced to 90 consecutive life sentences at a federal supermax facility, but he's still expected to face trial on state charges and could get the death penalty here. A pending water emergency in Louisiana. It's due to the blazing heat and the lack of rain. The Mississippi River expected to drop to historic levels this week, causing a saltwater surge upriver.
Yeah, that river, of course, one of the nation's most vital waterways. It provides transportation for major food supply chains, drinking water for millions of people. Laura Aguirre shows us what happens when it drops this low and how that can put drinking water supplies for millions of people at risk.
The mighty Mississippi, weakened by months of blistering heat and low rainfall, now vulnerable to a new threat, saltwater intrusion.
We don't believe that there's sufficient precipitation in the near term anywhere along the Mississippi River to materially change the conditions for the better.
With no significant rain relief in sight, experts say a saltwater wedge from the Gulf of Mexico will push upriver and could mix with drinking water systems in places like New Orleans. To mitigate the risk, Louisiana officials and the Army Corps of Engineers will start delivering millions of gallons of fresh water to at-risk treatment facilities from plants located above the saltwater wedge.
That water then can be combined with water at the treatment facilities to create a mixture that is safe for treatment.
Engineers also plan to add 25 feet to an existing underwater levee, or sill, designed to slow the saltwater wedge's progression north temporarily.
Without significant rain in the immediate future, the augmented saltwater sill will too be overtopped.
Louisiana's governor declared a state of emergency to tap federal assistance earlier this month and announced plans to send shipments of bottled water to New Orleans.
We're going to do everything we can to make sure that we're bringing every resource to bear that is reasonably necessary to help us deal with this challenge.
I'm Laura Aguirre reporting.
Back here at home, Mother Nature putting on an intense lightning show in some parts of the KSAT viewing area last night. Quite a few people say that they saw the lightning in the distance. Others start streaking across the sky and striking the ground.
Yeah, we want to thank our KSAT Weather Connect users for posting their videos and pictures this way. We can all see what's happening because unfortunately not all of us can say we got some rain. We are jealous, that's for sure. Meanwhile, storms in our area overnight and this morning, they just didn't make it into San Antonio.
Up north they did in the whole country, but the rain chances are still possible for some of us tonight. Adam, how good are those chances?
Well, right now the chances that are about 30% in the window of opportunity. It's starting to narrow. We have through a few hours after sunset. But as you showed in some of those videos, the thunderstorms were more bark than bite for us in San Antonio. And if you're on the north side of town, looking up into the hill country and elsewhere, that's where you saw the spectacular light show. Parts of the hill country along I-10 between Junction and Kerrville, we're talking anywhere from 4 to 6 inches of rain estimated by Doppler radar. And elsewhere, western Gillespie County and northwestern Gillespie County, between 3 and 6 inches of rain estimated by Doppler radar. But really it's another scenario of the haves and have-nots. You get closer to town from Bernie to Leon Springs, we had about an inch of rain, and that was confirmed with some of the area rain gauges. As for rainfall, Leon Springs, Roland's backyard, 0.91. Last night and this morning, but that's the exception. 101 the temperature now in Del Rio, an even 100 in Panna Maria, 93 right now in Bulverde, but check out Bernie, 0.57 in Rick's backyard. That was good to see. So we have that 30% chance. We'll talk more about that, along with the drought monitor and who got rain along the drought monitor where we need it, and another shot of rain tomorrow coming up.
Thank you, Adam. Straight ahead, keeping what you've got. The price tag a lot more than it has been, trying to keep your current vehicle moving. Just how much more it is costing to repair your car at the mechanic shop.
And a mattress recall has been issued for a brand that sold at Costco. Why those with weak immune systems using this mattress could be at risk of health problems.
A Costco recalling 48,000 mattresses over reports of mold contamination. So far, hundreds of customers have reported a mold problem in the NovaForm Comfort Grand 14-inch and NovaForm DreamAway 8-inch mattresses. The mold found in those mattresses could put those with weak immune systems at risk of health problems. The recalled mattresses were made in FXI's plant in San Bernardino, California between January and April of this year. If you bought one of those mattresses, you're asked to call the manufacturer for a full refund or a free replacement.
Over the past 25 years, Netflix certainly changed the way we watch TV and movies. But now it's the end of at least one part of the streaming giant's business. It's no longer going to be offering mail-order DVD rentals. That part of Netflix officially ends this week. At one point, 40 million people were subscribed to the mail service, and more than 5 billion DVDs were sent to customers in those red envelopes. The first DVD that Netflix ever mailed out was Beetlejuice back in 1998. So, if you had to take your car in for repairs lately, you're not alone, and you likely had to dole out more money than usual.
Yeah, Courtney Friedman took a trip to a local auto repair shop to see for herself what shortages are happening industry-wide and how the auto workers' strike is also affecting all that.
Car repairs are not a luxury, they're a necessity, which is why spiking auto repair prices are hitting customers hard.
The cost of doing business and the cost of parts and the cost of labor, it's all increasing in today's market.
Miracle Body and Paint CEO Manuel Rubio says the supply chain issues and inflation have forced a spike in the price of parts, up an average of 15%.
You've got rails, you've got bumpers, you've got headlamps and radiators and condensers and doors and hoods.
Right here, this part.
This car right here.
Couldn't get this part, then this car can't be fixed.
It can't be repaired. It won't be able to be completed. That's right.
And how much more expensive is this part right now?
This part has probably gone up 20% in the past 3 years. Wow. Yeah. And it's going to go up again because of the strike that's going on. They're going to reach an agreement somewhere between 20 and 40%, and that's going to have to get passed on to the consumer.
The auto union strikes have lasted 2 weeks so far.
If we don't resolve this by the end of October, we are going to have some serious issues concerning parts.
But it's not just the parts. There's also a shortage of auto technicians.
So we've got educational groups, we've got high school groups, we've got vocational groups, we've got colleges, and they're all stepping up and encouraging and promoting the ongoing education of automotive repair.
Rubio says many cars are now computers on wheels, and he does see young people taking an interest in the technology.
We have hope.
But his hope for now is that customers will remain understanding and patient. Courtney Friedman, KSAT 12 News.
We're hoping to use our windshield wipers on our old cars.
Wow. I think I just got a few drops in the dust today. I think that's all it amounted to at my house.
Yeah, a lot of us are feeling the same way, but we did get rain where it was really needed. And I'll show you the drought monitor, then the radar on top of it in a moment. First, our weather headlines. Isolated storms are still possible tonight, especially through 10, 11 o'clock. And then another slight chance as we get into tomorrow afternoon. Then it's just going to be quiet and unseasonably warm, but not triple digits. Yesterday was our 75th triple-digit day. It looks like that trend is coming to an abrupt halt here, at least 90s, but not 100. All right, take a look at our rain chances here the next several hours. 6 o'clock, 20%, 8, 10 o'clock, we've got 30%, and then you see those chances drop back down again pretty quickly and come down to 0% after midnight. Here's a look at the drought monitor, of course, updated every Thursday. The exceptional and extreme drought, San Antonio, Hill Country, points northeast. But you look at the rainfall from last night and early this morning, and it really hit where we need it the most. Is it enough? No, of course not. But it always takes these events to start chipping away at it. It's rare you wipe away drought within 1 or 2 rain events, but this is at least good to see rain where it is badly needed. Now, right now, most of it is between College Station and Houston. That's where most of it's starting to develop and starting to organize. It may start developing westward and maybe throw some outflow boundaries our way that would help kickstart some of those showers and storms. But this is near a stalled frontal boundary, a very weak boundary that's overhead. And the door was open for that boundary to move in because the upper level high, the big blue H, moved farther to the west and is starting to push westward. It's not going to completely lose its grip on our weather pattern, however. Let's talk about tomorrow. Here's a look at our future cast. And with the boundary still in place, a little bit of instability into the early afternoon. A few thunderstorms could pop up here and there, isolated in nature for the most part. We're talking 20 to 30% coverage across south central Texas. And the potential for severe storms is lower than it was today and last night. I think most of it's going to be garden variety, just some heavy rainfall with a little bit of lightning and thunder. But if something pops up around town tonight, there is a chance of it becoming strong to severe. Otherwise, our rain chances really fall off. We've got a few coastal showers possible by Wednesday, and that's about it. So that 20% chance tomorrow afternoon, 10% on Wednesday, and then we're just looking sunny and dry again. Let's talk temperatures quickly. 97 was our high today. The record, 105, set back in 2005. Notice the average down to 88. It's going to be a long time before we see those high temperatures at or below average. Weak boundary across the state, not a big temperature difference. Upper 80s, low 90s to about 100 degrees in and around South Texas. So not a big temperature spread with that boundary. 87 at 10 o'clock. By midnight, we're 80 degrees. Tomorrow, 73 in the morning. By the afternoon, we make it up to 93 for the high temperature. So not quite as warm as today. And notice very little variety in temperatures there. Clearly no cold fronts, just 93, 94 every afternoon.
Better than 100. Thank you, Adam.
All right, it is another lesson in why you never take an NFL team lightly.
Exactly, and Micah Parsons said during post that he feels they played down to the Cardinals level. But personally, I just think the Cardinals had a very good game plan yesterday, and they were outcoached by the Cardinals as well. Coming up, the Cowboys lose, and you know what? The defense was just gashed, and the Texans won their first game of the season, and the Rook, Stroud, continues to impress. Coming up.
The reality is we got to take in every game as like the Super Bowl, and we got to play up to our standard. We can't play down to teams, and I felt like that's what we did today.
Cowboys linebacker Micah Parsons had 1 sack yesterday in Arizona and says the boys played down to the Cardinals level in big board sports.
Football coverage brought to you by Davis Law Firm.
The Dallas Cowboys entered Week 3 with the NFL's #1 ranked defense, and that D took it on the chin in Arizona Sunday afternoon. They allowed the Cardinals to rush for 222 yards and gained 400 yards of total offense for the game. Arizona had 182 yards rushing in the first half alone, which is the most the boys have allowed in the first half since 1991. Dallas falls 28-16, dropping from the ranks of the undefeated.
I mean, the outcome is definitely shocking. It definitely hurts. Anytime you compete, it hurts to lose. But I take ownership. I take full ownership.
NFL is not for long, so definitely put that feeling behind us. We got punched in the mouth tonight, but it's all about us. And it's really, I don't feel like they did anything special. I feel like through the pre-snap penalties and the flags after the play, we actually beat ourselves.
The boys will next host the New England Patriots Sunday at 3:25 p.m. The Pats won at the Jets yesterday, 15-10, for their first win this season. Now, the Houston Texans, led by rookie quarterback C.J. Stroud, he now knows how it feels to win a regular season game in the National Football League. Stroud and the Texans beat the Jaguars 37-17 in Jacksonville, leading from start to finish. Stroud continues to impress, passing for 280 yards with 2 touchdowns and no picks. The rookie now sits at the top of a list with the most pass attempts with no interceptions in his first 3 career starts of 121.
A heck of a week preparing, practicing, and I think that's what got it done. Just the preparation that we put in, the hard work. It was really hot in Houston this week, and that helped us in this Jacksonville heat. But yeah, man, I really think it was all around win. Special teams, defense, offense, all play together. I think that just sets a tone for what we can be in this league, man. So really, really great team win.
Houston will next host the Steelers Sunday at noon. The Steelers beat the Raiders last night 23-18. That game this Sunday will also mark J.J. Watt's entry into the Texans' Ring of Honor. We'll be right back after the break.
Thanks so much for watching the news at 5.
See you back here on the Night Beat.